雪平相馬って言います。この学園のことは正直踏み台としか思ってないです。思いがけず編入することになったんすけど、要するに入ったからにはてっぺん取るんで。3年間よろしくお願いします。
Have you guys ever wanted to be the main character of an anime? The person who is loved, cared, and respected by everyone? I know you have. But today, I am going to make you rethink that wish. How? Well, today I am going to tell you about 10 anime where the main character is hated by everyone. Sound interesting? If so, then without wasting any more time, let's get started. Starting our list at number 10, we have the Misfit of Demon King Academy. The protagonist of the show is the reincarnation of a demon known as the Demon King of Tyranny. He was feared in his previous life for his immense prowess and ruthless treatment of his enemies. Like every other fantasy show, there is a war going on between the usual demons and humans, but it's been going on for 2,000 years. The Demon King faces off against the typical hero of humanity and sacrifices himself to ensure the future peace between demons and ordinary humans. But 2 millennia later, he reincarnates, and after that he soon learns that the level of the magic in the world has drastically decreased during his absence. Moreover, when he enrolls at the academy to reclaim his rightful title, he finds out that the demon kind remember him differently. His personality, his deeds, and even his legacy are all falsified and masked beneath the name of an imposter. So all the students do not believe him when he says that he is the true Demon King. Not just that, they brand him as a misfit, as he was not from a noble family. They look down on him, despise him, and even underestimate his powers. Well, that just sucks. Next at number 9, there is My Little Monster. Well, in this show, there are 2 main characters. One is an introverted girl and the other is a delinquent boy. The introvert is extremely cold toward her classmates and only caring about her grades. However, her cold view of life begins to change when she meets the delinquent, a violent troublemaker who has stopped attending class after getting into a fight early in the school year. He is not much different from her and understands little about human nature and does not have any friends. But surprisingly, he immediately confesses his feelings towards the introvert girl upon meeting her. I have to admit, the dude has more courage than Eren Yeager. She begins to develop feelings for him, but is unsure what kind of emotion she is experiencing. But our dude, on the other hand, loves her and gets jealous to the point he could even be considered a yandere. The girl is ignored by everyone at school for her cold and introverted nature, and our dude is literally hated by everyone for knowing nothing but violence. I mean, bro was suspended on the first day of high school. Well, if you were thinking their life was depressing, they at least have each other. Confused? Well, keep watching. So, at number 8, we have Elfenlied. The main character of this anime is a mutant human named Lucy, a victim of inhumane scientific experimentation by the government. She possesses psychokinetic abilities and is armed with invisible blades. Well, that is one superpower to have, but the unusual horns on Lucy's head draws unwanted attention to her. Lucy is famous for killing anyone that makes her feel threatened, and that's some skill. Her monster strength means that she is not only avoided, but also feared. Not to mention that she is treated as a mere research subject, shunned by the very people who should take care of them, and being killed off for stupid reasons. Damn. Talk about misery. Then at number 7, we have Blue Exorcist. Do you guys remember Naruto and how everyone hated him for having the nine-tailed fox? Well, even that seems somewhat desirable when compared to Reen's situation. While his family and most of his friends were all exorcists, he had direct ties to Satan himself. So it comes as no surprise that Mephisto originally just wanted to kill him, only changing his mind out of pure curiosity. And just like every other shonen protagonist, our dude decides to attend a school of exorcism to strengthen himself and learn to control his demonic power. Apart from that, he acts like a normal 15-year-old boy for the most part. He and a couple of his classmates train to be exorcists in the school, even though they are part demons themselves. But even after the initial conflict, there was still hatred for the main character in the air. Even some of the closest people in his life subconsciously blamed him for the death of one of the members and associated him with Satan. I mean, if I were him, I probably would have chosen better friends. Coming in at number 6 is Casern Sins. Well, as weird as the name sounds, believe me, the story is even weirder. But before that, let me ask you a question. What would you do if you couldn't change your fate? Would you grasp at any slither of hope that presents itself, even if that hope required you to hurt someone else? Or would you accept your fate? Sound dark? Well, when the story takes place in a post-apocalyptic world, you sort of have to assume that there aren't many positive vibes going around. All the show's themes relate directly to the conflicts between life and death. The dark, barren world of Kasern is on its way to ruin, and death is ever present. With sentient robots all over the world getting the message that they're actually mortal and have to face death, our main character somehow manages to get an even more miserable life, as everyone thought that eating him would grant them immortality. So, as you can imagine, not many took the time to sit down and have a chat. In fact, most just went straight for the kill, and relied on their supposed immortality to catch up on manners and ethics. So, literally, the main character is experiencing a never-ending Monday. Then, coming up next at number 5, we have Beastars. For those folks who have watched the movie Zootopia, this might feel a little bit similar. The show is based in a fictional world where animals lived just like us humans. But if you think that this is just a ripoff of the movie, let me tell you, this show has its very own violent anime touch to it. Here, an uneasy tension exists between the carnivores and herbivores, or simply the vegan and non-vegan animals. At the Academy, this mutual distrust peaks after a predation incident results in the death of an alpaca in the school's drama club. And as you can tell, this spurs some drama. Get it? You know, drama club. Anyways, his friend, our main character, a gray wolf in the stage crew, has been an object of fear and suspicion his whole life. Despite his gentle nature, our protagonist is feared because he is a predator. His carnivore peers look down on him for being so passive, even though he's a wolf. Even though he puts forth a lot of effort to make himself trustworthy, his fellow students test him at every turn. Well, let's talk about hypocrites. In the immediate aftermath of the tragedy, he continues to lay low and hide his menacing traits, but this does him no good, as more terrible fate encounters him later on in the series. Next up at number 4, we got Kono Oto Tomare, Sounds of Life. As the name suggests, this is a musical anime, but rather than having a happy slice of life, our main character is literally the most notorious person in the school, hated by almost everyone due to his nature of fighting with people inside and out. Not to mention that he is labeled a delinquent, is assumed by other people that he would never understand the profoundness of the traditional musical instrument. In an attempt to make up for his naivety and understand the words of his late grandfather, our main character tries to join the high school Koto Club. But even though the club is in dire need of members, the new club president is unwilling to accept his application due to the bad reputation. But little did all those hypocrites know that this protagonist was not going to stop until he fulfilled his dreams. Then now escorting us to number 3 is Rising of the Shield Hero. Tell me the truth, when you saw the title of this list, you might have assumed that the main character of the series was going to be on this. Especially the number 1 spot, didn't you? I don't blame you for that. Here, the main character of the show, an otaku, becomes cursed with the fate of being the shield hero. Armed with only a measly shield, and alongside that, he is belittled and ridiculed by his fellow heroes and the kingdom's people due to his weak offensive capabilities and lazy personality. When the heroes are provided with resources and comrades to train with, our main character sets out with the only person willing to train alongside him, Malty. Ugh. And if all that wasn't enough, he is soon betrayed by said Malty and becomes falsely accused of taking advantage of her. He then becomes heavily discriminated against and hated by the people of the whole city for something he didn't even do. Talk about the worst fate possible. So for those people who have lost track of all the misery that happened to our main character, let's all put on a short note. The first 2 episodes of The Shield Hero were an emotional roller coaster that firmly cemented Malty as the most hateable character in all of anime. But in reality, it was our protagonist that got all the negative attention. Shield heroes weren't all that beloved to start with, and now everyone thought he was also a monster. Needless to say, no one invited him with open arms. The dude literally had to buy a slave to have a travel companion. That's how much everyone hated his guts. Next runner-up are Food Wars. The anime revolves around a young boy who wants to become a cook and surpass his father in cooking. But rather than tagging along with his father, Soma finds himself enrolling at the prestigious Culinary Academy where only 10% of its students end up graduating. So where are the rest of the students supposed to go? In Salt Bay's kitchen? Jokes apart, for an anime like Food Wars, he is the perfect protagonist. The protagonist announces to his entire class that he would be the best cook at his high school's orientation ceremony. Immediately following this event, his image plummeted amongst his peers. Not only was he resented for his arrogance, but making such a statement put a target on his back for competition. Talk about bringing down your own bad luck. So now, finally at our top spot, we have Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Okay, I put David in the spot, but before you call me too mainstream, let's start from the beginning. In the futuristic world of Cyberpunk, anyone who's not filthy rich is considered nothing more than trash. Because, man, does this world really hate poor people. Not much different from ours, though. Dreams are doomed to die in Night City, a futuristic Californian metropolis. As a teenager living in the city's slums, the main character is trying to fulfill his mother's lifelong wish for him to reach the top of Arasaka, the world's leading security corporation. To this end, he attends the prestigious Arasaka Academy while his mother works tirelessly to keep their family afloat. But his mother was basically left to die in the middle of the street just because she didn't have a high enough package. And in school, everyone openly hated David simply for not being able to afford the higher-end gear. He then got new gear and was hated by Maine because it was originally meant for him and not David. So the first episode really just kept handing David bullcrap luck. And being how he becomes an influential and powerful criminal, and later on plenty of new people started hating him along the way, sure, it's not too extreme, but I wanted an excuse to talk about this show. I mean, can you blame me? It was Anime of the Year, for God's sake. Well, I guess that's it for today. Before you leave, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like. It really means a lot. And again, if you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press on that bell icon, and set us all to be notified about all our latest new videos. Oh, and I almost forgot one thing. Please leave a comment on who was your favorite main character in this list. Also, please tell me if you guys want a part 2 of this video. If you do, be sure to give some suggestions, and I will be sure to check it out. And as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.